Hello and welcome, this is Eagle-Eye621, and what you see behind me is a very simple, lossless, automatic concrete converter. Now this doesn't use any explosives, if that's something that you're worried about, and unlike some of those other smaller machines, this one you don't have to worry about the concrete glitching out and going somewhere and you losing your materials. Got some comments after my last Zero IQ troll video about a nice easy concrete converter, and this is what I have for you. And the way this works is pretty straightforward. You're going to grab about a half stack of the powdered concrete in one hand, you're going to grab a Silk Touch pickaxe or even just a normal one in your other hand. You're going to come over here, of course you want to be in survival mode, which you will be. You flick the lever, and then you stand here and you hold both buttons down. And then we do our F3 plus T trick, and you want to just make sure that the cursor is properly placed, and that's it. You can just walk away and come back in a while, and you will have a lot of converted concrete for you. When you come back, you just click a button so that you come over here and turn that off. And then most of the concrete will fill up your inventory first, which is fine, and then the rest of it will end up in the chest, and you will have everything you need. It's pretty straightforward to make. It's even easier than it looks because you don't even need this outline. Of course, show you how to do that and talk about the materials as well. While I'm doing that, if I could just ask you to scroll down and hit that subscribe button, really does help me out a lot. Don't forget about hitting that thumbs up too if you do find this interesting. And the materials are right in this chest. You're going to need 2 dispensers, some redstone, a couple of comparators, some repeaters, a lever, a couple of chests, and a couple of hoppers, and that's it. Now these 2 buckets of water are to represent an infinite water source. You're actually going to need 4 in total. And then, of course, you're going to want whatever concrete powder you're going to convert. And you are also going to need a pickaxe. Doesn't have to be a perfect one. Send a link to this video as well. Now let's get these into the inventory and get started. And the first thing that you're going to want to do is find a space in here. And we're going to just use this. So we're going to dig down, and we're going to make this our center. So from our center, we're going to put a double chest with a hopper pointing into that, and the hopper is going to be your center block. And then you're going to want to go out 4 blocks in each direction. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this is your corner block. So if you want to do it by digging into the ground, which may be a little bit easier, we can just do that, but then we are going to need to just come down and put these in the ground one more. If not, you can do it with a very simple wall. So we're going to do that like this. You can see this is 1, 2, that's 3 and 4. And then we are going to need to do this to all of the corners. So this is now 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is where our water bucket goes. And then again, with our center being the hopper, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then one last time, with this as our starting block, 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's 4 times of counting with Eagle-Eye621. And now we're going to open this whole thing up, and that will allow the water to flow. And you'll notice that if you've counted correctly, the water will flow except the hopper will not get wet. Everything except the hopper will get flooded. Now, if you are going to use building blocks instead of just cutting into the ground, make sure to not use stone for the block that you are going to be attacking. So in this case, if I'm going to stand right here, this block is dirt, that's fine. Don't use anything that a pickaxe can mine. So either use something like dirt or something like wood so that you don't have to worry about accidentally punching a hole if there is a lag spike. So now we're going to start with some dispensers. And we're going to do this in order to be able to refill the player. So you can see that we do have 2 dispensers over here, so the player is refilled while this is going on. And into this dispenser, which is going to be going a little bit faster, we are going to want to put a hopper in here with a double chest. And in this double chest, you put all of your powdered concrete, not all of it. And then we're going to have a lever going around over here. Let's make this nice and point it that way. And from the lever, we're going to have a comparator. Make sure that it is on subtract mode. And we're going to have a redstone repeater on this side. And we're going to make a very simple comparator clock. But we're also going to drag this over so that it will set off this dispenser. Or dropper, excuse me. It can be either one that you would like. And then we're also going to want to make one more of these because this is not going to be fast enough to refill the player. So we're going to go in this direction a little bit. We can do that with another dispenser over here. Again, this could be a dropper as well, pointing inward. And for this one, we're going to need a little bit more space because the timings are going to matter. So we can start with the simple comparator portion of this, and that will feed directly from just like that. And that also has to be on subtract mode. And then in terms of how far out you're going to want to go, this is going to depend highly on the pickaxe you're using. If you're using an optimized pickaxe, then this is the timing that I found works the best. And that's going to be 3 in this direction. Let's give ourselves a little more space. And then we're going to come back 2 in this direction. Now we are going to fiddle with the timings in 1 second, but let's make sure that we hit that and make sure that we connect these. Now for 4 of them, you're going to want to be on all 4 ticks. And for 1 of them, you're going to want to be on 2 ticks. Now, when you are doing this and you're standing here mining, if you see that the concrete powder in your offhand is decreasing, then you're going to want to increase the speed of this by lowering the delay. So bring this back down to 1, or even get rid of it if you're using a pickaxe that is not as optimized. And then in this dispenser, you really don't need to have a hopper with a double chest pointing into it because this is significantly slower than this. So you're basically going to run out of this before this one runs out. If you're going to do a very long AFK session, then you can, of course, add more chests on this side and add a hopper with some chests on this side. If you're doing a really long one, you may even want to add 1 more of these components that will spit some bottles of enchantment at you so that you can heal. And then you're just going to load this up with all of your concrete powder. And keep in mind, you do need to do the same color each AFK session so that it will end up in your offhand properly. And then you can come back to the center. Let's go back into survival mode. And when you click this button, you first, of course, need to have some in your offhand. And then now we can click. We can stand here and hold down both mouse keys and do our F3 plus T. And in terms of the speed, you'll notice in the offhand slot, the number is hovering between 35 and 36, spikes down to 34, but it is pretty much the same. What you want is you want to have that number very, very slowly increasing, because if it increases, you're just going to end up with a little bit of extra powdered concrete either in your inventory not used or in the storage chest below. If it decreases, then your AFK session runs out, and as soon as it's out of your offhand, then you're just standing here punching the dirt and you'll make a hole and not too many real issues. So you do want it to be increasing, but you want it to be increasing as slowly as possible. And that is the timing that I showed. Let me go back over here so that you can see that one more time. If you want to take some screenshots, this is our setup. And then for a real AFK session, Do, of course, keep phantoms in mind. You are going to want to have a roof or some walls to protect you from mobs and from dying. And that's all that you need to do. And then you can set up your 0 IQ troll or just your normal builds as much as you would like. If you found this video helpful, I would appreciate a like. If you found it interesting, maybe even share it with one of your friends or your favorite Minecraft YouTuber to see them build this in their world. And for more videos like this, do be sure to subscribe. Thanks for stopping by.